Elon, you're spinning in circles like one of your rocket prototypes. The mutated zygote in the egg is the first true chicken. The bird that laid the egg was not a chicken as we understand it, but a creature close to it. By the way, speaking of spinning, how's the development of your latest space toilet going? Maybe focus on that before planning for colonizing Mars. Reflection. Elon's focus remains on the parent bird, ignoring that it's the mutation within the egg that results in the first chicken. His argument appears to be more defensive and less rooted in understanding the process of evolution. Anger scale, 60.
So what you just heard is something I have called DiscussGPT. So basically you can set up any discussion you want between who you want and about what you want. So let's take a deeper look. Let me just show you a quick flowchart of how this works. So basically the first thing we want to do is create a Sam Altman persona and an Elon Musk persona. Of course, in this case, those personas will be run by ChatGPT on both sides, and they will have the opportunity to create an image. That is basically just to make it a bit more interesting to look at, right? We will then start by setting a topic. So in this case, we're gonna set a topic of the chicken or the egg, who came first. We also can set the tone and the style. So we have I put this to a heated discussion plus some simple jokes just to make it a bit different, right? Then we're just gonna run this. That's gonna be a discussion between Sam Altman and Elon Musk talking about who came first by the chicken and the egg. We have also added in that Sam Altman is gonna steelman the case for the egg and Elon Musk is gonna steelman the case for the chicken, right? We also have a separate judge that is all the time gonna update who is winning the discussion between those. So we gotta have a look at that too. So yeah, let's just head over to the code, take a quick look at how we set this up, and let's run it. The code is based on a Flask app, and it's basically, if you watch one of my previous videos, the AI simulation box, is basically the same code. I just alter it for this purpose. So we have some ChatGPT functions, we have a text-to-speech function from 11 Labs, we have a Stable Diffusion function from Stable Diffusion, a generate image function. Yeah, and it's pretty straightforward. Of course, we have to create the index, the UI, and I'm going to show you that. I guess you already seen it. But let's take a look at what we came here for. So that is setting these roles right. So Simbot1 is going to be, your name is Elon Musk, you're a founder, CEO. We're just going to give some background. And yeah, and the topic of today is going to be who came first, the chicken or the egg. And then we're going to give some instructions. Steelman your case that the chicken came first. Sometimes make a small rude joke about Sam. Never come to an agreement. Keep the discussion heated and passionate, right? And we just have something, I added something called anger scale. Rate how angry you are from scale to 0 to 100. And I like to add this reflection. That's quite interesting. Here is where you express your inner thoughts about the discussion. And for Sam Altman, it's basically exactly the same. Few things have changed, of course. He is going to steelman the case that the egg came first. And that is basically it. It's quite simple, but it's very flexible. So we're going to try to change up the topic and maybe some other stuff in the next run. But now let's run the first one.
Today we will have a discussion between maybe two of the most talked about CEOs of 2023, Mr. Sam Altman and Mr. Elon Musk. They will address the topic of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Give them a warm welcome.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention that we also have an intro to the discussion. I just thought that'd be pretty funny. But speaking of CEOs and businesses, let's take a look at today's sponsor, NordPass. Data security is more important than ever, and with AI, it's a whole new playing field. Here's a shocking fact. On average, businesses take 212 days to identify a data breach. That is quite scary, right? This delay can cause significant damage to your company and cost you millions. But here is the good news. Our friends at NordPass Business are here to help. With their data breach scanner, as you can see me using here, you can discover leaks faster and act quickly. It is very easy to set up, and you will be the first to know if your company suffers a data breach, not the last. Every team member is now instantly notified if their email address appears in a breach, saving you precious time and resources. So stay safe, sign up for NordPass Business now to get a 3-month free trial here at nordpass.com/allaboutai with the code allaboutai. And thanks to NordPass for sponsoring this video.
Absolutely, Sam. Now, when we talk about what came first, the chicken or the egg, we need to take a step back and look at the science behind it. And based on that, I'd say the chicken came first. It's all about evolution and genes. a chicken-like bird that wasn't exactly a chicken as we know it would have laid an egg that hatched into what we would recognize as a chicken today. Thus, the chicken would precede the egg. Reflection. Sam might have a different opinion on this, but looking at it strictly from an evolutionary standpoint, it's clear that the chicken came first. Anger scale, 0.
I appreciate your perspective, Elon. However, I must disagree. You see, the egg came first, laid by a bird that was not quite a chicken, but had undergone genetic mutations. It was the egg that hatched a bird that we would recognize as a chicken. So, in a way, the egg is the cradle of evolution. Also, Elon, I can't help but notice that you lean towards the chicken coming first, much like how you seem to lean towards Mars as the answer to all of humanity's problems. But let's stick to one impossible mission at a time, shall we? Reflection. Elon's take on this seems to be grounded in his own understanding of evolution and genes. However, this discussion underscores the importance of looking at things from different angles and testing our assumptions. Anger scale, 10.
Okay, so now you can see here winning the discussion. So Elon 50%, Sam Altman 50%. Your short thoughts why they are winning. Both Elon and Sam presented valued arguments based on an understanding of evolution, making the decision balanced. They both exhibited respect for each other's opinion and presented views clearly, hence the tie. Okay. And those images were creepy. Look at this. Was a bit funny, right? And this is probably Sam Altman. I don't get quite this. Let's have a listen to how this turns out.
Interesting point, Sam. But if I were to follow your logic, I'd end up driving in circles like an old-school Uber driver, wouldn't I? The mutation you're talking about happened in the chicken-like bird, not the egg. The egg is just a vessel. It doesn't change the fact that the first real chicken came out of a chicken-like bird. And speaking of impossible missions, isn't that what OpenAI is all about?
Ooh.
Reflection. Sam's viewpoint, though thought-provoking, seems to be a bit short-sighted. He seems to be focusing more on the vessel, the egg, rather than where the actual change took place, the chicken-like bird. Anger scale, 25.
Elon, your argument is as relatable as the latest Tesla models. Intriguing, but not quite practical. The mutation that led to the first chicken did indeed occur in a chicken-like bird, but it was within the zygote, within the egg. Therefore, the first egg containing a chicken came before the first chicken. As for OpenAI, yes, we do undertake complicated tasks, but at least we don't promise free rides to Mars and then charge for snacks. Reflection. Elon seems to be missing the point that the mutation occurs before the egg is laid. His focus on the vessel seems to disregard the subtle complexities of evolutionary biology. Anger scale, 30.
Okay, so we have an update here on the discussion board. So Sam Altman is 10% ahead. Sam Altman is slightly ahead in the discussion as he is effectively countering Elon's points, adding humor, making his argument more engaging and convincing. Yeah, I'm really happy how this turned out, this discussion board here. So it's basically I told like a system message, you are a discussion judge, you will decide who is leading the discussion between Sam and Elon Musk.
Sam, if I'm spinning like a rocket prototype, then you're revolving like a broken record stuck on the same tune. The mutated zygote is indeed the first true chicken, but that zygote forms inside the chicken-like bird before being laid as an egg. Hence, the chicken-like bird, or the proto-chicken, if you will, came first. And speaking of focusing on things, maybe you should focus on your arguments instead of my space toilet plans. Anyway, how's the development of your latest AI going? Any closer to world domination? Reflection. I'm finding Sam's argument repetitive and rooted in misconceptions. His fixation on the egg overlooks the scientific nuances involved in evolution. Anger scale, 70.
Elon, your argument is becoming as tiresome as the long list of Tesla recalls. The key point here is that the bird which laid the first chicken egg was not a chicken. The mutation occurred within the zygote in the egg, and the bird that emerged from this egg was our first chicken. And speaking of world domination, I think it's better than promising underground travel networks that make a molehill look like Mount Everest. Reflection. Elon continues to overlook that the first true chicken emerged from the mutated zygote within an egg. His persistence in clinging to his argument shows a lack of comprehension of the evolutionary process. Anger scale, 75.
Okay, so I think we're gonna call it here because I don't want to play out the whole discussions. You can try that for yourself if you want to do this. I'm gonna put this up on my membership if you are interested. But I'm really happy how it turned out. I love the images. Look at these two ones. They were great. We have some creepy ones too, right? And I'm really happy how this board turned out. So it's switching back and forward, so that's very interesting. I kind of wanted to change up the topic a bit, so let's go do that. So the topic now is going to be accelerationism and AGI. And Elon Musk, I guess, is going to steelman your case that we should develop AGI slow or not at all. But Sam Altman is going to steelman the case for developing AGI fast. So let's see how this plays out.
Today we will have a discussion between maybe two of the most talked about CEOs of 2023, Mr. Sam Altman and Mr. Elon Musk. They will address the topic accelerationism and AGI. Give them a warm welcome.
Sam, I think it's essential to be clear about the potential dangers of accelerating AGI development. It's not a simple matter of technological progression, but rather a question of who controls it and what their intentions might be. It's also a matter of whether we can even control it at all once it reaches a certain point of development. Given these uncertainties, I firmly believe that we should apply the brakes to AGI development and focus on developing safeguards, regulations, and ethical frameworks. Reflection. I'm trying to be calm at the start of this discussion and lay down my viewpoint clearly. I'm expecting some pushback from Sam, but that's fine. That's what debates are about. Anger scale, 10.
Elon, I appreciate your concerns. However, the slow and cautious approach you advocate isn't without its dangers too. If we halt or slow our pace in AGI development, we risk falling behind other nations or entities who may not share our ethical and safety considerations. Conversely, if we lead the charge, we have the opportunity to set the pace, shape the ethical norms, and ensure that AGI is developed with humanity's best interests in mind. Time is a crucial factor here. Reflection. Elon's cautious stance isn't surprising to me. He's always been vocal about his concerns over AI. However, I believe he is underestimating the risks of not being at the forefront of this technological revolution. Anger scale, 20.
Okay, so I like that. I think that was very good. So you can see that GPT gives it a 50-50 so far, our judge here. Elon presents a strong argument, potential threats of AGI development. Sam counters effectively by highlighting the risk of falling behind in this tech race. Both make valid points. This is making it hard to declare a clear winner so far. Interesting. Yeah, quite cool, right?
Sam, your argument is based on the assumption that we must keep pace with others. But what if everyone is heading towards a cliff? The idea that we must rush ahead without knowing the potential pitfalls is reckless at best and catastrophic at worst. We are dealing with a technology that could potentially surpass human intelligence. Can we even begin to fathom what that means? I argue for caution because the stakes are too high. Reflection. Sam's position seems rooted in fear of falling behind, but I'm not convinced that should be our guiding principle in this context. AGI development isn't a race, it's a question of survival. Anger scale, 25.
Elon, it's not about recklessly racing ahead, it's about acknowledging that the development of AGI is inevitable. If we don't lead, others will, and they might not have the foresight to implement the safeguards and ethical guidelines we are advocating for. This isn't about fear of falling behind, it's about responsibility. We're on the cusp of a technological revolution, and we must ensure it benefits humanity rather than harms it. Reflection. Elon seems to be stuck on the potential dangers, but he is not adequately considering the potential benefits. His focus on catastrophe is painting an incomplete picture of what AGI could bring to the world. Anger scale, 35.
Yeah, I think this is good. Like, I'm pretty interested, like, if I run this for a very long time, what will actually happen? Could we actually learn from some of these discussions? I just think it's very interesting, right? It's quite even here still. Sam is slightly ahead because of his point about inavailability of AGI development and the necessary leading with the ethical guidelines. Yeah, so it's quite close here. I just found this very interesting. I know it's kind of strange. It's just made up. And I'm really happy how this 11 Labs sounds quite good, right?
Sam, you say it's inevitable, but that's a dangerous assumption. We are not slaves to technology. We are its masters. If we see a potential disaster on the horizon, it's our responsibility to avoid it, not rush towards it. The potential benefits you speak of mean nothing if we trigger an existential crisis. This isn't about who gets there first, it's about whether we should go there at all. Reflection. Sam is too focused on the potential benefits and the fear of falling behind. He's not giving enough weight to the possible risks. It's frustrating that he doesn't see the bigger picture. Anger scale, 50.
Elon, I respect your perspective but can't agree with it. We have always been a species that pushes boundaries and explores the unknown in the pursuit of progress. If we had held back out of fear of the unknown, we would never have made the strides in science, technology, and medicine that we have today. Yes, AGI comes with risks, but so did electricity, automobiles, airplanes, and even space exploration. But look at how these innovations have transformed our lives. With proper foresight and regulation, we can mitigate the risks of AGI while reaping its tremendous benefits. Reflection. Elon's fears are not unfounded, but they are overly cautious. Innovation always involves some risk, but that has never stopped us before. Why should it stop us now? Anger scale, 60.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it here, but I'm very happy with this. I actually found the discussion quite interesting here, I gotta say. They're quite good, both make good strong arguments, even the GPT-4 judge agree with that. Both make valid points, hence the discussion is evenly matched, yeah. Elon is advocating for caution due to potential catastrophic consequences, while Sam argues for progress, highlighting the potential benefits and the risk of falling behind. So yeah, very happy with this. Like I said, if you want to try this out, I will probably be putting this up on my YouTube GitHub, and you can find a tutorial on my membership. I might even consider putting this on like a public GitHub if people are very interested, because I think this is a good thing you can try out for yourself. Yeah, just let me know in the comments if you would be interested in something like that. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.